You know, we don't really know when David wrote this psalm. Some have argued that it was written when he was younger and more learning about what God might be doing in his life. Others have argued that he wrote this after he had experienced so many things that his life reflected being shepherded by God. It really doesn't matter when he wrote it. The fact is he wrote it, and he included in it for us a beautiful picture of how God really does take care of us, even when things around us seem very difficult. In Psalm 23 at verse 5, he says, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, and my cup overflows." The word table here can actually just mean a flat area. The picture of a shepherd bringing his sheep into a pen, perhaps, to watch over them over the night, or a flat area in the land, so to speak, where he can be observant of them and the things that they're doing. That he set up a table to feed them, to give them rest, to give them protection, to give them a place of honor. He says, "You anoint my head with oil." It's a beautiful picture because it can be the idea of being anointed can be a royalty theme. It could fall in that perspective, but it also could mean a healing theme. And anointing the head was also a way that the shepherd tended to the needs of the sheep themselves. And he says, "My cup overflows." I love that because he knows in the shepherd, his life is secure. And so today I want you to think about that. Just think about what it looks like for the Lord to lay out a table in the presence of your enemies. It's a little bit harder for us to define enemies some ways in this time we live in, so maybe you just need to identify the way the Lord has provided for you in the darkest of times. How it is when others maybe have resisted what it is that you've had to offer about Jesus or about the hope of life, how it is that God has sustained you in those moments. Maybe it's time to really think about the way God has cared for your wounds, the way that God reveals them, and then he takes care of them. He doesn't just leave them open to fester and to cause issue and maybe even great harm in our lives. So today as you pray, something to consider is just celebrating the deep love of God and that he has for you in particular. That he would take care to prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemies, to acknowledge that your wounds are real and so to help you get through them, not just as act as if they're not there. Today maybe you want to celebrate that God continues to encourage you because he'll always be with you and that he'll always be where you're at. And maybe today you just need to be encouraged to let your hurts and your hangups and your failures be on display to God so that he can heal those, anoint you in this presence, that your cup may overflow. God bless you. Go in peace.